Okay, so this is my message to my subscribers. I know that y'all been noticing that I've uploaded a lot of videos about me struggling with porn and lust, which is true. I was a lukewarm Christian for years and had no idea. I think that I don't know if I believe once saved, always saved, but I know that even after I got saved, I was still watching worldly shows, still listening to ungodly music, still talking to guys, still struggling with lust and fornication and masturbation and pornography and all of that. I smoking weed and everything. Still dressing sexy, dressing like the world and all that other stuff. So I didn't even know that I needed actual deliverance and I needed to actually really depart and be separate from the worldly things and the things of this world. So the scriptures are true when it says in the scripture, it was depart from me, I never knew you. And they be like, didn't I prophesy in your name? Didn't I do this? Yeah, and but depart from me because I never knew you. So just because you still may have gifts that God is using and using your gifts to maybe witness to people or even some preachers or something like that, yeah, you might still have the gift, but are you really truly a on fire for God believer, or are you a lukewarm Christian? I was a lukewarm Christian for years. Do you know how many people I know that's professing to be believers like I was and still living the same life? I know a guy that was professing to be a believer and he was still doing cocaine. It wasn't until he overdosed and had a stroke and had and is paralyzed on the right side to completely turn to God. I knew another guy who used to preach to me about God and talk to me about scripture and was a believer, and he ended up going into the life of homosexuality and getting HIV. I know someone who ended up still like professing. I know so many stories of people that I used to know that we was all professing to be a believer but still was living a life of sin. Just because you professing to be a believer don't mean you're a believer. Just because you go to church don't mean you going to heaven. Like, we have to work out our own salvation, meaning we have to work out our own salvation. We have to examine ourselves and truly see, are we really a lukewarm Christian, or are we on fire for God? So yeah, I struggled with a lot for years because I don't know if it's that I really didn't never really study the Bible like that, and like I never really felt like I was doing anything wrong because everybody around me was still doing whatever they wanted to do. I felt like it was okay, but it was not okay, y'all. I had to be delivered. I had to be set free, and I had to really get serious about this. All I can do is thank God that He was continuing to use me to get His messages out, even though I was still about. I think it's a difference when you're battling sin and when you willfully going into sin. I battle, and at times I willfully went into sin. But I truly believe that God will give you grace to truly walk away from sin if you seek His face 100%, y'all, and be totally set apart. I was still watching Love and Hip Hop, Black Ink Crew, and everything else you could think of. I still was worldly. Basically, I still was worldly. Like, I wasn't working on my own salvation. I wasn't taking this serious, and it's really serious. It's between heaven or hell. This is so serious, y'all. And I was playing with God for so long. He could have snatched me. Remember when I did that dream I told y'all about when I almost went to hell for fornication? He could have took me to hell. He could have allowed me to go to hell then if he wanted to. But he had grace. And I was able to share the message. I share these messages because, first of all, God tells me to share the message with y'all, but also so that you can learn from my mistakes so you don't have to walk and deal with everything that I dealt with when I was in my backslidden, lukewarm Christian stage. I thank God for total, complete deliverance and total, complete understanding now of what it means to be on fire for God and to be set apart. So I hope you get something from these videos. Thank you so much for watching.